That is why Benedict XVI even encouraged the schismatic patriarch to resume his ministry. Benedict XVI addressed November 12, 2005, quote, "In this regard I ask you, venerable brothers, to convey my cordial greeting to Patriarch Maxim, First Hierarch of the Orthodox Church of Bulgaria. Please express to him my best wishes for his health and for the happy resumption of his ministry." Benedict XVI encourages the non-Catholic schismatic patriarch to resume his non-Catholic and schismatic ministry. Benedict XVI addressed May 23, 2005, quote, "The Venerable Orthodox Church of Bulgaria." He calls a non-Catholic schismatic church venerable. Benedict XVI is a schismatic. More heresies with the Protestants from Benedict XVI. Benedict XVI explicitly rejects converting Protestants again in his book Principles of Catholic Theology. Benedict XVI, Principles of Catholic Theology, 1982, page 202, quote, "It means that the Catholic Church does not insist on the dissolution of the Protestant confessions and the demolishing of their churches, but hopes, rather, that they will be strengthened in their confessions and in their ecclesial reality." Benedict XVI doesn't want the Protestant religions dissolved and converted to Catholicism, but hopes rather that they will be strengthened in their confession of Protestantism. At Vatican II, Benedict XVI also denied that non-Catholics should be converted. Benedict XVI, Theological Highlights of Vatican II, 1966, pages 61 and 68, quote, "Meantime, the Catholic Church has no right to absorb other churches. A basic unity of churches that remain churches, yet become one church, must replace the idea of conversion. Benedict XVI is not even remotely Catholic. Benedict XVI praises the greatness of Luther's spiritual fervor. Martin Luther was one of the worst heretics in church history. Luther attacked the Catholic Church and its dogmas with ferocity. While never denouncing Luther as a heretic, Benedict XVI often speaks positively of Luther's views and even praises him. At Vatican II, Benedict XVI even complained that the document Gaudium et Spes relied too much on Teilhard de Chardin and not enough on Martin Luther. Benedict XVI, Principles of Catholic Theology, page 263, quote, "That which in Luther makes all else bearable, because of the greatness of his spiritual fervor." Benedict XVI is also credited with saving the 1999 joint declaration with the Lutherans on justification. Benedict XVI encourages Methodists to enter into the totally heretical joint declaration with the Lutherans on justification, which rejects the Council of Trent. Benedict XVI addressed to Methodists December 9, 2005, quote, "I have been encouraged by the initiative which would bring the member churches of the World Methodist Council into association with the joint declaration on the doctrine of justification, signed by the Catholic Church and the Lutheran World Federation in 1999. The joint declaration with the Lutherans on justification rejects the Council of Trent by teaching that its infallible canons no longer apply to the Lutherans. It also teaches that the worst Lutheran heresies, including justification by faith alone, are not condemned by Trent. Benedict XVI adheres to this Protestant agreement and asserts that it was signed by the Catholic Church. Benedict XVI praises the non-Catholic ecumenical monastery of Taizé and says that more should be formed. The ecumenical monastery of Taizé is located in France. It is a monastery made up of over 100 brothers from various non-Catholic denominations, including Protestants. Benedict XVI, Principles of Catholic Theology, 1982, page 304, quote, "Taizé has been, without a doubt, the leading example of an ecumenical inspiration. Similar communities of faith and of shared living should be formed elsewhere." So more of these non-Catholic ecumenical monasteries should be formed according to Benedict XVI. Benedict XVI also gave communion to Brother Roger, the Protestant founder of the Taizé community. And when Brother Roger died in August 2005, Benedict XVI said that this Protestant heretic went immediately to heaven. Benedict XVI, August 17, 2005, on Brother Roger, quote, "Brother Roger, founder of a non-Catholic sect, is in the hands of eternal goodness, eternal love. He has arrived at eternal joy. So much for the fact that Brother Roger rejected the Catholic Church, rejected its dogmas for decades, and became the founder of his own non-Catholic sect. He still went to heaven according to Benedict XVI. This is manifest heresy. He even says that the heretic Brother Roger is guiding us from on high. Benedict XVI addressed to Protestants at World Youth Day, August 19, 2005, quote, "Brother Roger, he is now visiting us and speaking to us from on high. If you believe that Benedict XVI is a Catholic Pope, you might as well attend the Protestant Church. Pope St. Gregory the Great, quote, the Holy Universal Church teaches that it is not possible to worship God truly except in her, and asserts that all who are outside of her will not be saved. Benedict XVI teaches that the Protestant Eucharist is a saving Eucharist. Benedict XVI, Pilgrim Fellowship of Faith, 2002, page 248, quote, even a theology along the lines of the concept of apostolic succession, as is in force in the Catholic and in the Orthodox Church, should in no way deny the saving presence of the Lord in the evangelical Lord's Supper. Protestants don't have a valid Eucharist. They don't have valid bishops and priests, since they lack apostolic succession. But Benedict XVI says that even if one accepts the Catholic dogma of apostolic succession, one should in no way deny the saving presence of the Lord in the evangelical Protestant Lord's Supper. According to Benedict XVI, the Protestants are not deprived of the saving Eucharistic presence. This means that you can get the saving Eucharistic presence at the local Protestant church. This is astounding heresy. John chapter 6, verse 54, quote, Amen, amen, I say unto you, except you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you shall not have life in you.
God says in Ezekiel 8, therefore I will act in wrath, my eye will not spare, nor will I have pity. And though they cry in my ears with a loud voice, I will not hear them. He will hate you with a perfect hatred. He will hate you and he will have you. That is the fearsomeness of hell. The text we read says that those in hell, they are going to be tormented. Where? In the presence of the holy angels and of the Lamb. One of the most fearful things about hell is not the total absence of God, the absence of all of his blessings, yes. Can you imagine forevermore with not any joy, no more comfort? But God is going to be there. One of the fearful things about God, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of a living God. He is a consuming fire, and when he sets his face against you, he will trample you out in the winepress of his wrath. And it is forever.
Now, it will be poured out on some of you. I'm not a prophet. I have no insight into your heart. But it would be very vain and unwise to suppose that every human being listening to my voice, whether here or via the internet or whatever, is truly a child of God. Wrath will be poured out on some of you throughout an eternity in hell because of the crimes you have committed and will continue to commit throughout all eternity. The raging of your heart against the sovereignty of a good God. But wrath, the wrath of God, it will be poured out on some of you.
St. Alphonsus Liguori goes on to say, scarcely 1 in 100,000 deathbed conversions is sincere. That's the math of St. Alphonsus Liguori. Scarcely 1 in 100,000 deathbed conversions is sincere. You can't plan on converting the day before you die. Do not mock God. And as St. Alphonsus goes on, who promised you tomorrow, nor even the rest of the night? The same God that is infinitely merciful to us when we beg forgiveness now is infinitely just when we die. And his wrath is so horrifying that the soul will leap into hell rather than to see the face of Christ again.
He said if you found a cure for cancer, Wouldn't it be inconceivable to hide it from the rest of mankind? Wouldn't it be criminal just to hide it? He says, how much more inconceivable to keep silent the cure of the eternal wages of death. Yet we do. Yet we do. So intimidated by what people might think.
But if we lose our battle with temptation, we know what our agony will be. Forevermore, the stench of hell will fill our nostrils. You will scream for unconsciousness, but there is no unconsciousness in hell.
And thus, in the midst of the valley, a great pit will be opened, into which all the devils and damned shall fall together, and they shall after them, which shall never more be opened, never, never, for all eternity. O accursed sin, to what a miserable end thou wilt